Alright. I don't know if Ella's going to be in the call or not, but I'm going to start where I left off yesterday. I've got this pulled up here. We got through the if-else statements and things like that. I heard you! And I'm going to start. We're going to go over a switch. And then I'll go ahead and I have calculators as an example. We are going to make a calculator. Okay? So, a switch is like a long if-else statement. So, for example, we'll create an integer, my num. We are not going to assign it a value to start, okay? All we're doing is declaring it here. I'm going to go down a couple lines. We're going to display enter a number. We're just going to get some input from the user here. We're going to go cin my num. So whatever the user types in here will get stored in the value of my num. So I'm going to have it display a letter, okay? So 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D, okay? So to do that, I'm going to go, what we can do is we can go if my num equals 1, display A. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Else if my num equals 2, display B. Else if my num equals 3, display C. Else if my num equals 4, display D. And then we can just go else display E. So that took a lot of typing to do that. Instead of going like this, we can make this into a switch. So what we're going to do, get rid of all of this. You can do it like that, but it's easier to go like this. You can go switch. And then inside of the parentheses, it's going to be the name of the variable you're going to be looking at. Here, it's my num. We're going to go use these. And now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go case 1. Colon and enter, and I believe it's utab here. I believe. I haven't done this in a bit, but I remember how to do it still. So, case, this is the value. It's going to check to see if the value of my num is 1. If it is, it'll do this. It'll display A. And then to end the case inside the switch, we're going to type break semicolon. That's all. Then we go back. Case 2. So if the value of my num is 2, we're going to display B. And then we're going to break that case. We're going to do the same thing for 3 and 4. If I spell it right. And that's it for the switch, I believe. So if I run this, okay, 3, bam, C. We can run it again. I was hoping that would work. Enter number 1, A. Now what you'll notice is if I run it and I enter a number like 7, it'll just end because it doesn't have a case for 7. Now, let me see here. I believe, I'm going to try this out here. I believe, yeah, just default, display E, break. Let me test that. I believe that's how it works. Yeah, so if anything else if all these other cases fail, up here, it'll display E. So, I do remember you. I do want to explain I believe it was you. Let me check this real quick. Because I had computer issues. Everything was going wrong. Let me check this. Yeah, so I scheduled the stream. Then it goes. I scheduled it on my phone. I remember. Wait, no, I scheduled it on the computer. Then I had to leave. I was going on that little trip. Then I found out I was gonna be stuck there a little bit longer. So I went to go and change the time on my phone, but my phone screen broke, so I wasn't able to do anything. That I never got around to getting it fixed. It's a long story. I just hoping that you'd forget about it. I probably could have been a lot smarter about that, but yeah. So, I'm gonna get back to this here. Now that I've explained the switch, how switches work, kind of, I'm gonna explain how to make a calculator. So I'm gonna get rid of all this. Oh, great. I was planning on doing it, but then everything stopped working. So, yeah, fun. So, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a double, num1, so this will be the first number, another double, num2, I will make another double result. None of these are going to have a value set to them yet, and a character, OP, for operator. You can name all of these whatever you want, of course, but, yeah. I'll explain to you what I'm doing real quick. I'm doing like a little C++ course kind of thing I've been working on, but a lot of them have gotten canceled, so I'm live streaming some of this. So I can kind of go back and say, if you really are interested in learning it, you can go here. Yesterday I had someone that was working with this, but they just can't be on the phone right now, so I'm just doing this because I had it scheduled and everything. So you can check the stream from yesterday. You can kind of see everything that happened. If you want to learn, you don't have to, but yeah. The first thing I'm going to do, we're going to display, enter your first number, and that value will be saved as num1. I'm going to go, character output, enter your second number, cn num2. Now I'm going to go, yeah, of course you have. I was going to be live longer last night, but then I got sidetracked. I'm like, ooh, I want to do this now. And yeah. Oh, I'm going to be on the phone with somebody here when they decide to call me. They just want to be on the phone. I'm fine with that. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, we're going to go display, enter an operator, plus, minus, times, divide. We're going to have that go into OP. Are you watching the stream?
No.
Yeah, I'd probably give you a headache if you didn't watch it yesterday. Okay, and then we're going to create a switch here. We're going to be watching the value of operator, OP. Case, since OP is a character, we're going to use single quotes, plus. If the value of OP is plus, we're going to go result equals num1 plus num2. We're going to display result, and then we're going to break. And then we're going to go case minus. Result equals num1 minus num2. Then we're going to go display result. Break. What I'm doing is kind of just, by the way, I'm talking to, I've got someone in chat right now, in case I just stopped saying things like this. What I'm doing is, I'm making kind of like a course on C++, so I can, someone was learning last night, but they just can't, they're not available to call right now, so, I'm still streaming. I'm just going over some of the base concepts, like, I've got this down here, of stuff that, basic stuff I can go over in the language, so. Yeah, it's not like a game. I've made little Pong games before. If you check on my videos tab, you can go back. I made a simple Pong game. Just, I was learning a new header file, but, yeah. We can go case multiplication, or multiply asterisk, result equals num1 times num2, display, result, break, and then the same thing for division. And I believe this should work. This when I get like a bunch of errors, because maybe a semicolon. Oh, it doesn't. 5, 9, plus 14. We can go 50, 2 divide 25. So that is how, that's a really simple calculator in C++. If you followed along, if you followed along, congratulations, you made a calculator. If you didn't, congratulations, you watched me make a calculator. So, real quick, before I go on to loops, I'm gonna explain CMath real quick, so you can have some fun here. We can go int x equals 9, int y equals 16. And I'll go int z. Now I've got all the variables I might need. So to do this, we got to go up to the header files up here. We have to include a new header file. We're going to go enter, hashtag include. This one's called CMath. It has a bunch of math-related functions in it that we can use now. Now we're going to go back into the function, and we're going to go. I'm going to go over 4 of them real quick. The first one, we can find the max number, so like whichever one's bigger. So we can go max x, y. Well, actually, okay, ignore that. I'm going to go z equals max x, y. So what this is saying is we're going to set the value of z to whichever is bigger, x or y. Don't forget the comma in the middle. Then we're going to go, I'm going to do this at the bottom here, so I can keep it organized. Display z. So, which one's bigger? 9 or 16? 16, so it should display 16. Bam. Another one we can do is minimum. So you can go z equals min for minimum, x, y, semicolon, because everything ends with the semicolon. So which one's smaller, 9 or 16? 9, so it should display 9. Another one, you can raise something like an exponent. So you can go, well, I'm going to do a square root first, because that's, for the exponent I'll have to change the values, because I don't know how big that number is going to get. I didn't think about that. So you can go z equals sqrt for square. We can find the square root of y. If you don't know, the square root of 16 is 4. So when you run it, it should display 4. And believe it or not, it will do the same thing for x, except instead of 4, it'll be 3, because the square root of 9 is 3. Bam, shocking. amazing. Now I'm going to change the value of some of these numbers so I can do exponents. I'm going to set y to 4 and x to 3. So I'm going to go z equals POW for power. We're going to go, the base of the exponent is going to be x, and the exponent itself is going to be y. So it's going to be raising x to the yth power. So, real quick, just because I don't know how to do math today, we can go 3. That doesn't work. I can't do that. Shame on the computer. Shame. Okay. So 3 times 3. Oh God. Times 3 times 3. 81. That's what we should get when we display z. Boom. 81. So that's some C math that we can use. I don't think I use it too much anymore in my tutorial here, but I believe if you go like a new tab here, C++ C math, this is all the stuff you can use. Yeah, there's a lot here. Yeah. Yeah. See this POW. Oh, right there. You can do round. There's a lot of stuff here. But yeah. Now I'm going to get rid of CMath because I don't need it anymore. But just remember that exists. So if you want to use it, go ahead and use it. But a point to note, if you do not include CMath, the functions will not work. Okay? Like you'll notice if I go power 3, 4, you'll notice how it get an error because it's undefined. But once I go up here and include CMath, that red squiggle will go away. Just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to get into loops, which are fun. Well, the thing with loops, do-while loops and while loops are pretty easy to understand, I think. But once you start doing for loops, they get a little bit more complicated. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first one is a do-while loop I'm going to do. So what we do, all you do for the do loop, we're going to go do, then we go straight to these curly brackets, and we're going to go display hello. And I'm going to show you a cool trick that I didn't go over last night that's going to blow your mind. Instead of needing to do that end line thing, you can do backslash or /, whatever this is, in. That's a really quick way to end the line. And then don't forget the semicolon. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a variable up here. It's going to be int x equals 5. Okay, so while x equals 5. So what do I do? When it gets to where it says do, it'll be like, oh, it wants me to... I clicked on something. Okay. It's going to be like, oh, it wants me to display hello. So it'll display hello, and then I'll see, oh, do that while x equals 5. Does x equal 5? Yes, so it'll keep doing it until x is no longer 5. So if I run this, it'll kill the computer. I can't scroll up because it's constantly saying hello. I'm just going to close that. So that's a do-while loop. A while loop, so the difference between a do-while loop and a while loop, a do-while loop can run that block of code one or more times. It always will do it one time, but then it will check if that condition is true, then it will go back and do it again. A while loop will start by checking, is that true? If it is, it will run it. If it's not, it will completely skip it. So while x equals 5, display hello, and it should do the same thing. Yep, there it is. Okay. So that's a do while loop and a while loop. I will show you kind of what I mean when I say the do while loop. We'll do it at least once. Say do display hello. Now if I go while, you want us to do that while x equals 7. It'll do it once. Hello. That doesn't make sense, but oh, gotta go. Let me try that. Yeah, there. Because I forgot what that's setting the value. Okay. I just made a toddler mistake in the middle of a tutorial. I'm an idiot. So it'll do it once, but then it'll check. Does x equal 7? No, it does not. It equals 5. Then it's done. But now if I change this into just a while loop, so while x equals 7, display hello, you're going to see it doesn't do it at all. Because it starts by checking, is x equal to 7? No, it's not. So it doesn't do it at all. Now get comfortable, everyone. We're going to talk about a for loop. A for loop is a block of code that will run a certain number of times. And this here is intimidating. I'm going to try my best to explain what everything here means. So to set up, I'm going to kind of set up a for loop here. I'm going to go for int I. That does say int I, right? Yeah, because I almost forgot that when I made it. I equals 5. Semicolon space. While I is less than 5, semicolon space, I plus plus. Now we're going to go begin the loop. We're going to display hello. And now, if we run this, it will do absolutely nothing. Okay, that's interesting. Let me think here for a minute. Oh. I'm dying today here. I equals 0. You're going to see it displays it 5 times. So now I'm going to explain what everything here means. So for it'll see the first argument here. We're going to create a variable named I, which they use I a lot because it's the incrementer or whatever. The thing that gets incremented. We're setting the value of I to 0. Semicolon, because that ends that little statement, but we're going to keep going. We're going to do this loop as long as I is less than 5. So, is 0 less than 5? Yes, it'll do it. And then the last thing we want it to do is increment the value of I by 1. So it'll be I, it's 0. Is it less than 5? Yes. And then now we're going to add 1 to I. Then I'll do this. Bam, I is now 1. Then I'll do it again. It ignores this after it does it one time, I should say. So this only matters the first time. Then it'll be like, hey, is I less than 5? Is 1 less than 5? Yes. We're going to display this and add a value to 1. Now it's 2. It's 2 less than 5, and it keeps going like that until it is no longer less than 5. Then it will skip it. So I can have it display it 8 times, which means instead of checking if it's less than 5, it'll do it if it's less than 8. See, that's 8 now. So if you have any questions, either say it in chat if you're really here to learn this, or if you're watching it later, comment, or if you have my phone number or something, text me. For loops are more confusing than do while loops and while loops. Okay. Now, the last little concept before we get into external functions is an array. An array is like a variable that can store multiple values. So let me see them here. Okay. So my example I have here, I'm gonna create. It's gonna be of the data type string. I'm gonna call it colors. We're gonna have these square brackets, and this is defining how many values we are holding in this array. I'm gonna have 3. Boom. Equals. We're gonna have these curly brackets. This here we do not press enter. since it's a string, we are going to use double quotes. First color, red. Boom. Comma, space. Next value, orange. Comma, space. Final value, yellow. And then semicolon. So that is an array of colors. The data type is string. We're calling it the name of its colors. And it knows that it's an array because we have this behind it. That's saying we're going to have 3 values inside of this. And then they're all going to be stored inside of these double quotes. Red, orange, and yellow. Now we can go. We can display colors. Or does that work? Yes, it does. So we get this. That is the hexadecimal value for this. I am not explaining that because we don't need to know that right now. What we can do, if we need to like display a certain one of these values, we can use the value's index. And it's not that hard to understand. The index of the first one, red, is 0 because we start with 0. We count 0, 1, 2, 3. So red is 0, orange is 1, yellow is 2. So we're going to display colors at index 2. Really?
Nope, the green dino's dead now.
And then boom. Now I'm going to be thinking about that. Thank you. Okay. So it wants us. We're telling the computer to display colors at index 2. 0, 1, 2. That's yellow. We're displaying yellow. We can go display index 0, which it'll say colors right here. 0, boom. Wants us to display red, so there it is, red. That there is an array in C++. Really? You're saying that in the group chat now?
Ow. I just hit myself with the rock.
Stupid. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Okay. Now I'm going to go over functions. So, this here, this is the main function. That's what the computer automatically runs. But we can make another function. We can go up here. We can go. Most functions are going to be of the type void. Void means it does not have a return type in it. Space, we can call this my function, parentheses, curly brackets. This is outside of the main function. Make sure that it is above it though, otherwise it will not work. Okay? Keep that in mind. Because the computer is reading the code from top to bottom. We are going to say, in this function, when it gets called, we're going to say, my function was called. We're going to be happy about it. Okay. So, you're going to notice if we run this, nothing happens. That's because it does not start by reading this. It starts by reading this. And it was never called in the main function. To call it, all we're going to do, we're going to type the name, which my function, that's what I named it. My function, parentheses, semicolon. There we go. Boom, my function was called. Because it sees, when it starts running the main function, it sees, oh, we're going to run my function. We look, void my function, what are we going to do in it? We're going to display my function was called. And just like that, it works. Okay. Parameters. Okay. How am I going to do this? This is fun. So, the little parentheses inside of a function, I said yesterday that I'd explain what they're for later. It is now later. I'm going to explain parameters. So, let me see if I can. I don't use them that much because I usually like to just declare my variables outside of them, which means they're like public to all the scopes and stuff here, and all functions. But say here, we're gonna have inside of our void my function, we're gonna say if x equals 5, display x is 5. Right now it's not working because x has not been called, or x has not been defined or declared yet. So down here, what you notice if we say int x equals 5, this still won't work because it is in another scope. What did I just click? I don't like it. I clicked something. Okay. This is how I like it. Okay. So we need to go inside of these parameters, and we're going to go int x equals 5. And there. Now it's noticing, oh, x is something. X exists. Now we can see if it equals 5. I'm going to say else x is not 5. Maybe. Okay, we're going to run this. Boom, x is 5. So that's kind of what a parameter is. If we don't have it in there, it will not work. And I do believe, let me do a little testing here. If we go get rid of this, so if we don't have any parameters in the function to start, when we call the function, we can also have a parameter called just that time we have the function. So we can go int x equals 5. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I will look into that and I'll get back with you on that. But those are parameters. Next we have recursion. And then after recursion we get into object-oriented programming, the complicated shit. So, a recursion is when a function calls itself within a function, therefore getting stuck in a loop. So if we go in the function my function, if we display hello, and then we end the line like that, then so if we run this, just make sure it works. Since we're calling it, just say hello, easy. Now we can have recursion used here. We're gonna go my function. So now we'll call the function my function is calling the function. So now the function my function is being called inside of the function my function, so it'll get stuck in an infinite loop. That is recursion. It's commonly used when like sorting algorithms and things like that. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but yeah. If you understand what recursion is in general, it shouldn't be too hard to understand. Okay, object-oriented programming. I do believe I got that right here. Object-oriented programming, the type of programming performed using things like classes, structs, objects, inheritance, and polymorphism. This is going to be confusing, probably, but we're going to have fun. So, a class is like a blueprint. We can make like a blueprint for an object. So, to do this, we're going to go, for example, we can go create a class. We can call it human. Boom, boom. A class, you do need to end the other after this last curly bracket. We do need a semicolon. Otherwise, it won't work. We need to declare an access specifier now, which is another thing. Down here, it tells the computer whether the value of the variables can be changed outside of the scope. It can be public, private, or protected. Without an access specifier, everything will be private in a class or public in a struct, which I have not set a struct yet, so don't worry about that. So I'm gonna use public, so everything here can be changed outside of the class. We're gonna go what do humans have? Everybody has a name, so string name. What else do they have? An age, int age. And now we can think of some functions that humans can do. So we can create a void. We can call it run. We can call it run because running's funner than walking. Boom, boom. We're gonna go, since we can't display someone running without sitting here for 3 hours, non-stop coding, troubleshooting every time it doesn't work, we're just gonna display, we can go name is running. I'll go ahead and end the line here. Oh no, what are you typing? I can't say that on stream. I'm gonna get demonetized. I'm not even monetized yet, and I'm gonna get demonetized. That's how it works. What else can humans do? I can't do this anymore. What else can humans do? We can eat. Void eat. Display name is eating. Yeah, do you even have my stream pulled up anyway?
No.
Yeah, go. I'll wait for you. Go pull it up and see what I'm doing while you're saying this kind of stuff. Okay? Are you going to?
Yeah.
Okay. Go take a look what I'm dealing with. At the same time I'm dealing with you.
Okay. Well, really, you're not. You just don't have to read the message.
Okay. So now I'm going to go into the main function. Now we can go and use this entire class. Just shame on you, okay? We're gonna go. The first thing we do to create an object, you can see down here, objects, creates an instance of a class or struct, can have its own variable values. We're gonna go human, because that's the name of the class, space, and then we can give the object a name. We can go human1. Done. Now we have now created an object called human1. That's right. We are now objects. We're not living beings. We're just objects.
I've been at the train check for more than an hour now. Whee.
I like that little wee that you have. Okay.
I
Now.
don't think that felt fancy. Sounds like I'm missing something.
I'm streaming right now. Shame. Now we're gonna go give values to these variables for human1. So we're gonna go human1 dot name equals. We're gonna give it a name. We're gonna call him Billy. Billy the human. And we can go human1 dot age equals. He's gonna be 20 years old. I know he's in his midlife. Earlier midlife, I guess. Now we can go. Let's go ahead. Human1 dot run. So now it'll run the function. It'll run this function with him. I believe that should work. Please work. Boom, Billy is running. I love Billy. Billy's fun. We can go human1 dot eat. Don't forget the parentheses, otherwise it won't work. Billy is running and Billy is eating. He eats while he runs. Amazing.
Can I at least show you the picture of what I'm working on?
Sure, go right ahead. We can go. I'll check that in a minute. Human1. we can go ahead and display something here. We're gonna go display. Or calc. We can go human1.name is human1.age years old. Oh, lovely. That's only a tad bit creepy.
Yay!
I just spit all over my phone. I did it again. Stop it.
I sent it to the group chat.
Oh, lovely. So now if we run this, Billy's running, Billy's eating, and Billy's 20 years old. So, yeah. Now, to explain what a struct is here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to change this here. Oh, I guess I'll show you this. If I get rid of public here, and if I make it private, it defaults to private in a class. But if I make this private, you'll notice, boom, errors exist. There's errors aboard. All of these are going to whine at me because you're not allowed to edit them, anything in a private class. But if I get rid of this, and I make this a struct instead of a class, everything defaults to being public. So the same outcome will happen. So that's the difference between a class and a struct. I'm going to have it be a class because I like classes. They make me sound cool. But, yeah. Okay, we got two more things. The next thing is inheritance. Inheritance is a programming technique where a class receives attributes and methods from another existing class. The new class is called the child class, and the original class that you're inheriting from is called the parent class. My next GD stream, probably later tonight, like Central Time, probably 9-ish, Central Daylight Time. But I'm not sure. I'll just keep an eye out, I guess. I have no idea for sure what's going to happen. Don't take my word on that. Might be earlier, might be later, might be never. No, I'm just joking. I'll do one again. But
this is another thing I drew.
okay, so to explain inheritance, I'm going to create a whole new class. Oh, lovely. Why do you do that?
What?
I like the blood,
They're
though.
pretty.
It's nice blood.
They're pretty.
We're going to create a class. We're going to call it dog. Oh gosh, I'm spamming buttons. I'm going to make them public. A dog's going to have a name. I can't do it. What am I doing? It's going to have a string name. And it's going to have an age. Give it a chance to catch up. There we go. Now a dog can also, it can eat and it can run. So go void eat display name is eating. No, actually I'm going to go is running here. And I'm going to change this to run. I'll go for another void. And this will be called bark. We're going to go display name goes woof.
I just realized all the things I draw are kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I've done that too, so don't feel bad.
Oh well.
So now we're going to go down here, we're going to create a dog called dog. I know, very original. And that doesn't work because this is not capital. There we go. So we can go dog.name equals, call him Sammy. Dog.age equals, he's going to be 8. We're going to go dog.bark. So Sammy goes woof. So we have not done inheritance yet. All we just did was make another class of a dog. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a class of a cat, except instead of writing all of this again, we're going to use inheritance to copy a lot of these. So that's the file explorer. Nice going. Yeah. So I'm going to go, let's see. Yeah. We're going to go class. You were saying something? Class cat. And to say that we're inheriting it from dog, we're going to go inherit with a colon from public dog. Don't forget the semicolon. Now the only difference that we have to do now, if we go we're going to add public down here. We're going to go give it the function void meow display name goes meow. So we can go ahead, we're going to create a cat called cat, very unique. We're going to go cat.name equals Molly, my grandma's old cat. Cat.age equals 4. We can go cat.meow. We can run this. Oh, I forgot to go in these functions. We're gonna have a new line at the end. So Sammy goes woof and Molly goes meow. The reason that we didn't have to declare like name and age for the cat is because we're inheriting all the stuff here going into the cat class. If we can also, the functions carry over too, and methods and things like that. So we can have Molly run. So we can go cat.run. Molly's running. So everything carries over, and you can build onto it even if you want. So that is inheritance. We have one more thing of the basic stuff. Polymorphism. Most advanced, really simple thing. How am I going to explain this one? Let me think here for a minute.
I'm done with this. It took me like a year.
Okay. I'm going to copy this just to make sure I'm doing this. I have this right. Because I don't use polymorphism a lot. I honestly don't.
I got help with some of this. What? It's done. Yay! This one's not disturbing. At least to me it's not. I had hope with it, but...
Okay. Now, I'm just making sure that this is working before I explain this. I haven't used polymorphism near enough. Okay, I'm gonna release a video on polymorphism because I gotta review this. It's annoying to explain right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go get stuff put together for a GD stream later tonight. Yeah. Bye.